Hello, 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 everyone. We are close to getting started here, so it's time to get comfortable and get your beads out. If you've gotten a kit for this lovely project that we're doing tonight, you can definitely spread it out on your table, do some quick little hand exercises to get those fingers warmed up, and we will be starting again here very soon. If you haven't already, you'll want to definitely follow me on all the different social media platforms that I'm on. So you can go and like, subscribe, and follow me for a ton of SilverSilk inspiration on YouTube, as well as Instagram, and Pinterest. Of course, in here on Facebook as well. And you'll want to join while you're on Facebook, the SilverSilk Silkies. We have a wonderful group of SilverSilk lovers that enjoy using the products, love to show off what they've made and share with each other in this great little community that we're building. I love seeing the inspiration with everything that everyone's doing. And I know we each encourage each other to create and share good vibes. And so you'll definitely want to become part of this group and this community. All right, so let me get a quick setup going here, and then I'm gonna flip my camera on in just a second. All right, here we go. How's it going, everyone? Let me make sure that everything is up and working, which I believe it is. This is my second time doing a live broadcast with dual cameras and all the fancy graphics and stuff. So it went well last time, and hopefully it'll be a great experience for you guys out there as well. I can see some friends already tuning in. Hi, Gail. Lovely to see you. Hi, Donna. We've got Trisha in the house. Rosalinda, it's good to see you. Thank you for tuning into my video. Suzanne Brown is here. Teresa and Gretchen, my brand ambassador, who is I describe her as a little woman that does big things behind the scenes in encouraging, sharing, and getting questions answered and getting us all excited about SilverSilk. So you'll see quite a few of her posts in our Silkies group, and she's just done a wonderful job of maintaining, I think, the high standard that we have of good communication and good vibes. So Teresa, I truly appreciate you. I know the Silkies love you, and I'm so glad that you can tune in for my videos week to week. Hi, Joan. Joan Dice is here. Yes, Brenda, she says that I'm a StreamYarder, so I've hopped on the trend and I freaking love it. Hey, Holly, happy Tuesday to you as well. So guys, if you have any questions, please post them in your comments feed, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, and I will definitely do my best to check in on it and answer. Sometimes when I get too involved with my project, it's hard for me to pay attention to some of the comments and stuff. So bear with me as I try and balance out the two. So I'm gonna flip my camera now, and we're gonna look at some of the stuff that's in this kit. Tonight we're gonna be working with hollow mesh, and particularly I put this little kit together called Perfectly Pink, I think is what I remember titling it. And what I wanted to do was pair up a lot of pink stuff. I don't know why pink, it just inspired me, and I wanted to create with it. And also, it's one of those colors that I feel is a little bit intimidating to use, maybe. And so I wanted to kind of break that barrier and try and see, you know, maybe if I paired it with a color that's not so bright and vivid, such as black, including this giant void behind me. Speaking of black, I've actually got a really nice, like, gray toned room, but I think it's just that since the sun goes down so quick, it's not very illuminated back there. But toning down the pink with some black, I think, is always a fun way to maybe use it, but just not in a bright, vivid way. Fran says pink is my signature color. There you go. We've got some really pink lovers out there, and this is for you guys. All right, so if you've never worked with it, this has been the month, the year, this is gonna be the year of hollow mesh. I'm gonna create so much content and so much projects around hollow mesh. It's it's game on. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna dive into some fuchsia and use this as part of my project. This is such a beautiful color. It is called Fuchsia Pearlesque Hollow Mesh. What makes it pearlesque is that there is rainbow tinsel that is woven into this hollow mesh. It's woven at the same time, in fact, as the wire is. And because it's woven together, you get these beautiful little shimmers of color that happen. It's so fantastic and so sparkly. If you're a sparkles kind of person, this is the stuff for you. And I happen to carry it in many different colors, and so it's a good one to pick up in case pink is not your color and maybe something else is. Or in fact, I've got a lighter shade of pink too. If you think the fuchsia is a little bit too heavy, you can always pick up Lotus. This one's a lighter colored pink, and this one is also pearlesque infused, if you will. And yeah, just it's a beautiful tone. What else? Okay, so that is part of the kit. Now, a few of you have picked up the kit already, and for the last two of you, I forgot to pack the hollow mesh, so I reprinted the shipping labels and sent some out to you guys. So bear with me as I try and focus my silly little brain around getting the right stuff out to you guys. But in the kit, you get full 3 feet to work with, and this goes a long way, especially for tonight's project, because I'm not going to be using the entire bulk of the spool. I'm just going to be using like 6 inches or so. And so you could really grab this kit and experiment with the rest of the hollow mesh as you see fit for whatever beads you want to fill in with it. Also, you get this special chain that I just made for this kit. This is pink pearlesque. I really don't even have a title for it because it's such an exclusive color, but it's basically a hollow, not a hollow mesh, but a pearlesque chain that has pink tinsel that's been, I'm going to try and separate this just so you guys can see the layers of it. It's like woven so tightly that it's a little bit of a challenge to get out here, but I definitely want you guys to see this fill. So I got this beautiful pink tinsel that's been knitted over gunmetal ball chain. And over that, just to kind of tone it down even more, is black wire. So as you can see, whenever I sort of like, there you go. If you see it fuzzy, you could see some of that pink that shines through it. And it really dances in the light. It's such a beautiful cord. It's so easy to use because that pink color is very toned down. And so I think it just makes a wonderful addition to this kit. And especially for tonight's project, because we're using this beautiful pendant from Dakota Stones. This is something that my friend picked up from Tucson a couple of years ago and got a bunch for me for a previous kit, and I had quite a few left over. So I was like, you know, I think I'm going to use it somewhere down the road. I don't know. When I'm feeling pink, that's when I'm going to bring these out. So I packaged them up together finally. I used them in a kit previously, and then I had a bunch left over, so I ended up doing that. But each one has a different, like you could see this one. This one's packed in a kit. They're all really different from each other. So I think it'll be fun to post this in the Silkies group to see what kind of stone everyone got. Debbie is asking, is that smooth? Are you referring, Debbie, to the cords here, the chains? Let me know, and I can answer to that. So yeah, that's our focal for tonight. I'm really excited to use that one. So how we're going to attach this is with some tiara cast stuff. So I managed to get my hands on some bales that's also included in this kit. The bale is going to be good just to kind of, I would do it now, but I'm curious to see how I'm going to put it on there with the hollow mesh first. But really, you just put it right over and you pinch it. It's very easy. And then, let's see, we've got some end caps. Now the end caps aren't included in the kit just because I really don't know if I'm going to be using them. So we shall see. Something's happening back there. Anyway, we've got some lobster claw clasps. So these are going to be part of the kit as well. We're going to use this to to secure the end there. I think I'm having some house measuring done, so there's going to be some noise happening in the backyard as we do this video, so bear with me. It's a little distracting for me too, because it gets me out of my groove, you know? Okay, we've got some extreme soft flex wire. I've included 3 feet because we're gonna need that to string our beautiful pearls. How many of you guys have pearls out there that you haven't used yet? Believe it or not, I haven't used these. When did I acquire them? Oh goodness, this must have been 2007, I think, when I got these. Never used them. Debbie is asking, is the pendant smooth? The pendant is textured, so we put it on its side there. So as you could see, it's got some really great little grooves and some beautiful stuff happening. So it is a dyed pendant though. I don't think this color would be natural to the stone, but yeah, and it just really depends on which stone you get. So like this one's got a large, like, I don't know, inclusion in it. And so like you could kind of see that it's not smooth, but on the surface here it is. So they're all special little snowflakes, as my friend says. All right, I've got some 3mm pearls, 4mm pearls that I've never used. And so I thought, you know, tonight it might be kind of cool to like fill my hollow mesh with it and see if it works and see if it kind of meshes in with the design tonight. And I've also got some labradorite in case that fails. How many of you guys have labradorite out there? This one I've had probably since 2005 or so. Like I've really stored up my beads. I don't know about you guys, but like I just like to kind of collect and hoard and then never really use anything. So I'm sort of destashing as well as I don't know, reinventing and finding my love for pink tonight. That's what I'm doing. Gail says she's got a lot. I'm thinking you got a lot of pearls, Gail, that you probably haven't used. So now's the time to do it, right? Okay, so 3 feet of the extreme soft flex in silver and a couple crimp tubes, which I think I need to grab because I didn't grab those. And I can get those here in a second. Oh, I almost forgot the last thing that's included in the kit are these wonderful little cones from Tiara Cast. I've had a bunch of these for a while as well, and found, you know, that the little bail, the pinch bail that I had matched that hammer tone. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna put all this together and see how it works. So we will be using those cones for our ends here. And I believe someone had posted in our Silkies group a question on how to use cones at the end. So this video will sort of cover how to do that. Let's see, I've got a question here asking how much is the kit, watching, first time watching from Jersey. Well, it's lovely to have you on here. Welcome. You can grab the kit at www.silversilkonline.com. I believe Teresa can post the link again if you haven't already, Teresa. I appreciate that. And all of the information is totally on the website. Okay, let me see what I want to dive into first. I definitely want to go ahead and string on my pearls on the right wire here. So let me go ahead and cut out. You get 3 feet in your kit, but what I'm going to do is just use a little bit. So I'm just going to end up using probably about 1.5 feet. So I'm just going to use a pair of cutters to go ahead and cut my soft flex wire. Get that out of the way. Eventually, let me see if I can grab them now, actually, while I'm thinking about it, because I always forget to have all my stuff, my closures and things at the end. Some of you might know how that rolls. And get my crimps out because I will need them here shortly. Let's see. How's everyone doing? I've heard that there's been like some snowstorms and stuff happening, and like I'm seeing posts about it on our friends on Facebook. Hope everyone's okay out there. Definitely stay warm. I know Teresa's in some snow, so I'm a little worried about her, but she's got plenty of oil burning for heat, so that's reassuring. We have a question here. Let me post that. Have you ever put black, maybe leather instead of pink pearlescent hollow mesh Does the pink look brighter? Does the black bring it down? Ooh, that's a good question. Inside of the hollow mesh, I haven't yet, but I'm actually getting ready to place an order with Leather Cord USA for some leather because I want to have some more kits that are easy, like bracelet designs that you can just kind of fill with hollow mesh and put some end caps on the end. And that's an interesting point as far as colors go and how colors play. Black, I don't know if it'll bring it down necessarily if it's inside of the hollow mesh, but I know whenever it covers pink, it definitely tones it down. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays off of each other. That was a really good question, though. Okay, got my crimps. I'm using, there's a couple included in the kit, in fact, but there are, these are the gunmetal colored crimps from Softflex Wire, so I'm just gonna have a couple of those out. And what I want to do is just do some pearl stringing. And what I'm thinking is that for my focal, I'm going to have part of the chain, like maybe that much, go there, and then fill it up with pearls. And then I think I'm going to put my cones at the ends here. I'll just do the one side since it's not fully cut yet. But you guys can kind of see how I'm going to assemble it. So we're going to put our end cap here, our cone's gonna go there. We could do a little accent bead there if we wanted to. I think, I'm kind of thinking it might be a little overkill if we do, so I might just leave it nice and plain and simple here. The pearls, I think, and certainly that pendant is gonna do a lot of that talking. It's gonna talk to me. All right, let's get started. I'm going to see, I'm hoping that this will string through. I might have to get some thinner soft flex. Because these pearl holes tend to be a little bit on the small side. But let me triple check here. Nope, nope, we're in business. That's gonna string right through. Okay. And I'm assuming that this will go through my hollow mesh, but we can widen it with our chopstick here in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and string on these pearls while I can. This is something that I probably could have done ahead of time, but that takes out the fun in beating together, right? You guys get to have me on here a little longer. Here we go. I see a lot of you guys are loving this new format. So that pleases me because I feel like I've done the right steps to get better video quality out to you guys, especially lately, I think, just with the expansion of SilverSilk and what it's doing and how far we've come together. Debbie Kearns is asking chopsticks ? That's right, Debbie. You're gonna have to keep watching to see what chopstick magic I'm about to do. I would recommend either chopsticks or knitting needles, and some of you know why. Hi, Joyce! Joyce Trowbridge, my bead buddy, my bead sister. From Just Beat It is on with us as we are beading together. Joyce, I'm enjoying your videos. If you don't mind popping a quick link to your store where people can find you. I love supporting all of my small business owners out there as I am a small business myself. She's got some incredible beads in her store that are really great. I think it'd be just a nice, great product reference, if anything. And you get to create some wonderful stuff that makes people happy. And I just say I'm encouraging your video production, and just seeing you makes me happy. Okay, so we are stringing right along here. I've got one like gigantic large pearl that I have no idea where it came from. So we're going to take that one out as I don't think it's going to fit inside of that hollow mesh very easily. This one's an interesting pearl color because it's dark, but it's got a rainbow iridescent, I don't know, like almost a pearlesque tone to it. And I guess it makes sense if I'm saying pearlesque and using pearls now that I'm thinking about it. But But I think there was that question earlier, what if you put a darker color inside of the pink hollow mesh? So we're about to see what happens, because I have no idea. I kind of plan these projects in my head ahead of time, but I have never really a clue what the result is going to be. It could be anywhere. I've had some really bad projects before. And you guys are so sweet to say that, it's not a complete loss, but, sometimes it can be. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Joyce. Just find it at Just Beat It. You can Google it or find it on Facebook or just about anywhere. So that's good. Good searchability. So thank you for posting that. There we go. I have no idea how long I want to make this. I think roughly maybe 5 inches should be sufficient enough to get a pretty good focal down. My goal for this was to make sort of a mixed media piece with different textures, but using maybe just smarter materials together that pair well together. Let's see. Let's do a few more pearls, because why not? Just a few more. And then what we're going to do is string and crimp. Or not string, I guess. It'll be fishing it through that hollow mesh, giving it a nice good crimp at the end. There is a pretty good process to all this that's hopefully easy to understand and digest for you guys that are using this for the first time at least. We definitely don't want to mess up any of our materials as it's beautifully structured already, especially crushing the mesh would be definitely not helpful, but there is a way to uncrush it if you do. And that's where our chopstick comes in, because I have it sitting out right here. All right, so I went ahead and strung my pearls, and I think that seems to be pretty okay amount. I strung those last few pearls on there, but I'm looking at it and it feels a little bit more long than I want it, actually. Probably about right there. So let me just take those off real quick. Visually, this seems correct to me. Everyone has their own taste, so I get it. Like, this feels good to me. You guys do what feels good to you. Let's see. What do I want to do next? Okay, so I want to go ahead and widen my mesh just a little bit. Whenever it comes off the machine, it's a little bit more stretched just because of the spooling process. So unfortunately, there's not much control I could do on my end. However, for those of us that are looking to widen the mesh a little bit and to add in bigger beads, I like to use one of two tools. One is the chopstick. This is something that I just grabbed from Panda Express. And yeah, it came with my meal. So like, if you love Chinese food, which I really do, it comes in the packaging. So just grab it, because you can use it. Just make sure that it is 4 millimeters wide there at the tip, because it goes a little bit narrow there, but it's just good to fish it through. And then when it comes out the other end, it's going to be a little bit wider than it was before. So that's a good sign. The other one is a knitting needle that is at least 4 millimeters thick, maybe even 5. And it's got a blunt end, so you'll have to kind of fish it back out through the front. But this was a tip from one of my students here online, and I just thought that was a great idea. The ones that are made of metal, especially the aluminum knitting needles, those are going to be the easiest to work with because they slide so perfectly. Okay, and then what you do is pretty easy. You just kind of push it right on, and you just sort of snake it through. And I say snake because it kind of compresses and slithers right across your chopstick in a snake-like way. Hello, Cynthia. She calls me Mr. Neely, and I love that. I think it's so sweet, even though it's... I really think of myself as a sir or Mr. or in a, I don't know, adult kind of way. Just feel like a kid these days. But I think it's still sweet. All right, so it is now kind of coming out the other end here. There we go. You just have to be a little patient with it, but once you get a good grip, it'll Just go right through. And this again just helps to widen the mesh. Therefore, you can add up to size 4mm beads or seed beads. I think if we're talking in the language of seed beads, a size, probably a size 6 would actually be okay. I know those are pretty big, but they are roughly probably the size of the pearl, if not just a little bit bigger. There we go. Slowly coming out here. But you could see how much bigger that mesh became just from me fishing it through the, or fishing the chopstick right through it. So much more wider, easier to work with. What I'm gonna do is at one end, let's see, I think I'm going to go ahead and add in, I'm gonna loosely do this because the idea here is that I want my knitted wire to go up into the cone and just really stay there, but I don't want it to go all the way through quite yet. So what I need to do is anchor it on one end, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see if I can do that without crimping it first. So let me do this real quick. Let me put a fake crimp on there and see if I can push it through. And of course, I'm not gonna need all of this. So I could probably actually even just cut it down some, and that'll make it easier to string right through it. Okay, so here's a tip, you guys. If I push my wire, my beading wire through, you can see it's gonna go out of every little hole, and it's just gonna be very aggravating to fish it through the hollow mesh there. So what I like to do is just kind of go in through with my crimp just to give myself a nice little loop. I don't have to crimp it right now if I don't need to, but I can push it through without any problems, and that's extremely helpful for the ease of hollow meshing. You can see how easily my pearls are going right through. And because I have it sort of anchored at one end, I can push it all the way through, and then I'm just gonna loosen this as such. It'll be a little bit crimped on that side, but that's okay. We're actually not gonna use all of this stringing material anyway. And we can, of course, just cut that off a little bit later. So what I wanna do is I wanna tidy up one of my ends first before I push it through the cone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fish. I guess fishing is on my mind tonight. I have no idea. I'm going to string through these little open knits, as you can see. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna start to compress that end for me without trying too hard. And it'll anchor it in place once I get my cone over it. So you can see it just created a nice little pocket, just like that. So now my pearls have a place to sort of sit and land, or land and sit, I guess that would be the proper order, as I'm sort of compressing and pushing all this to one end. And what's also great is that I can put my cone right over it and it'll stay in place just like that. I've got a little piece of tinsel sticking out, so I'm gonna actually trim that up first. There we go. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use these labradorites. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't wanna, I mean, I have them out already. Why not, right? I could put one right there and it looks so cute. I'm gonna go do that. There we go. Let's put one at this end here. See, it's just like a little finishing touch, because why not? More is more for some of us out there. All right, so let's see. Okay, what I had intended is that this will connect to the end cap here. So what I'm gonna do is string my crimp back on if it didn't fly away. And it might have, because that's what my crimps do. Okay, so let me get another one out. So Philomena is asking, what brand are my cutters? These guys right here. These are Lindstrom. I found these on Amazon, actually. I actually got them from a trade show, though, but I had another customer ask me where I acquired my cutters from. And while that was at a trade show, I did look these up to see that they were distributed on Amazon. So if you're into the 2-day shipping, which I am, that would be a great place to get it. And Brenda, I saw it, you were on here, my love of my life there, my Brenda. Brenda Schrader. How many of y'all know Brenda Schrader? I freaking love her. She's so talented and really just a great designer and a fabulous human being. And someone that I like to bounce ideas off of, commiserate, have a laugh with, everything. But Brenda, can you chime in and let us know like what your favorite cutters are and where a good place to acquire them? I don't want to be like the sole, I don't know, like knowledge base necessarily, especially since we're talking with the Great Beat Extravaganza group here. We have 17 professionals putting on a show this coming weekend, and mind-blowing. This is the second time that we're doing it, and it's so fabulous that we can all like get together and plan all this out thoroughly and execute some wonderful designs, good vibes, share with each other, share with you guys out there, share across the board. I don't know, it's great. So like I said, I don't want to be the sole person that that knows everything. Like ask one of the TBGE people, including Brenda Schrader, and I'm sure you will get a very helpful answer from our bead experts out there. Okay. I am just going to move my pearls down. You guys just saw that I crimped that one end there. And I want to do the same thing to this side. So I'm just going to stretch this out just a tad bit. Whoops, got my lining to come out there, which is not what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can kind of shake this back in place. There we go. And what I want to do is trim this up and then put my soft flex wire right through that again. So let's trim it. And I would recommend maybe trimming and being careful, very careful while you're trimming this. A couple knits from where the last bead is. There you go. Oh, there you go. I think Brenda answered some questions here. I feel like I scroll. Oh, there we go. John Bead Pro lately has some tools and some beads, so that's perfect. Thank you, Brenda. Okay, I am crossing my fingers that I do not cut the. Oh, I didn't. Yes. There we go. All right, and I still have my crimp on this one end, so I'm just going to take that out. Perfect. Take this guy out. And now I can go back in and sew through some of the knits on this side that are sticking out here. There we go. I really just need to do a couple. I don't need to go too over the top. Just a few, just to anchor it. It doesn't really take much to make it into a pocket. So you can see I already like snapped in place. I'll just do one more since it's a six needle weave that makes this knitted wire. I can go through 3 of them and space one out from each other. So there we go. Oh my gosh. Ah, you guys, I have to hold this up to the light. That is so pretty. I get this like double iridescent because of the pearls and the rainbow Pearlesque hollow mesh. Again, had to find my words there. Okay, so now I'm just going to put on my other cone and repeat the same process. I'm gonna grab one of these labradorite rounds. There we go. String that right through. Just like that. And then I'm going to grab my end cap. Oh, actually I need to put on my crimp. And then my end cap. For those of you that are not familiar, I feel like I didn't really get to go over this thoroughly. My custom made end caps from SilverSilk. This is a single strand end cap. What this is, it's a cap that goes over either Pearlesque or Capture chain that I carry in my store. And what makes it extra super duper special is that there are little teeth inside of this end cap that grasp on to the ball chain that the core of this knitted wire is made from. So you don't need any glue. You don't need any special tools. You just need the end cap. And I'd say for the one tool that would be useful is to have a wide nose pair of chain nose pliers or flat nose pliers. I coded these in Tool Magic, and then what I can do is just go back in, which I'll demonstrate in a little bit, and press on the end cap to close it. Very easy to do. And I just, they're such a inexpensive tool to acquire that really does a lot of work. And if you have some in your inventory already, then that's, you know, that's great too. All right, so I've got my stuff all working there. I'm gonna go ahead and crimp. I just have my pair of Xuron crimp pliers there that I like to use, and then I'm gonna grab my cutter to just cut that wire off. What's great about the Softflex crimps is that I don't have to worry about that wire coming out or getting scratched from the crimping process or even losing its strength. The crimps that Softflex company makes, they are a very thick wall. So you know whenever you do crimp it, it's going to really grip onto the coating that's on that Softflex wire. And that's what makes that crimp very high quality. And it is tarnish resistant as well, which is great if you're leaving the crimps exposed like I am in this design. You'll definitely want to make sure that you have high quality crimps that are holding your piece together. Alrighty. Again, I've got a couple extra end caps there in case I use them for the end on my necklace here, but let me go ahead and get a few of these things out of the way just to free up some space. You guys loving this tutorial so far? I'm hitting a lot of techniques here, so I'm just making sure that people aren't confused as I tend to make a lot of mixed media pieces. And I'm carefully reading those comments too, so keep them coming, you guys. Right, Becky says, hi, Nile. Hi, Becky. Sorry I'm late. It's looking great. Thank you. Yeah, we're making some progress here. Like, look at this. So, so beautiful. And even if you're not a pink lover, like this is a great way, I think, to walk into spring and summer with some sort of a very, I don't know, just a really delightful piece of jewelry, something that makes you look at it twice and makes you happy wearing it. Okay, so it looks like I can get to my bail. Now, because Tiara Cast, and I'm using a lot of different companies, so I'm trying to like remember the best things about these companies and make sure I tell that to you guys because that's why I use products from these companies too. Not only do they make great quality products like Tiara Cast especially, but they complement the SilverSilk so well. I'm just gonna open it up. It is a pewter base, so it's very flexible and easy to work with. And then I'm just going to use my thumb and index finger to pinch down, and that connects my bail to my focal area of my necklace here. A little bit of fuzzy there sticking out, so I'm gonna grab that. But oh my gosh, I'm just sitting here admiring this when I should be like finishing this project, but this is such a great piece. So most of these things, again, are included in the kit. The end caps are not, because I had to keep the kit semi-economical, which is a little bit of a higher price point. Normally my kits aren't this high, but just the type of findings and stuff that I'm including are very high quality. And so I just wanted to make sure that I keep it as low as possible for you guys out there to craft with. Okay, to really like do a great end cap, there's a little bit of a process involved. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and trim up my end just to make sure it's nice and flush. Okay, the next step is to go through and kind of just pull out some of these little wire baby pieces that might be stuck in there. This prevents, like those little pieces prevent the end cap from really grasping onto the true chain here. So I want to make sure that all those little extra pieces are gone. So I just shake them out with my plier, try and get them out as best as I can. And then I'm going to go in, insert it into my end cap, and grab my wide nose pliers, and then I'm just going to press down. You'll feel it grip to the ball chain, and there you go. That's all it takes. I'm going to do that to both sides. And then I can kind of trim it up and see what size necklace I want. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut it. Flush out one end. Get that out to the side. Take care of my little extra fuzzies here. Wire fuzzies. I really haven't come up with a better name, so I just call them wire fuzzies. Okay, there we go. There's usually like 3 or 4 or so, and they're pretty good about hiding. All right, I'm going to then stick it into my end cap. Oh, one tip I didn't get to show you guys. Sometimes the end caps are a little too close together. So what I'm gonna do, or pinched in together, I guess is what I really meant. I can actually insert in my chain nose pliers, and I can actually squeeze out just a little bit to open it back up. This makes it easier to insert the chain inside. Okay, and you really do want it to go in there quite a bit. Once it's in there, then you can press. Oh, and I just realized this wasn't on my necklace. And it was missing something. That's okay though. I'm glad I did this because I can show you yet another trick that I use to take this out. So what I do, this does destroy a little bit of the chain, but it's not a bad sacrifice considering you still have the entire chain to work with. You just take your chain nose pliers and you just gently like start to pull away. And what it does is it takes that wire and smashes it, and it comes out with a little bit of a brute force there, but it does come out. And therefore you can repurpose your end cap in case you crimped incorrectly, as I did. Now the bad news is that it does waste a little bit, so I'm gonna have to go back in and take care of these little fuzzies again. But no big deal. We all make boo-boos, and it's important for me to show you guys how to correct and fix it from there. I still make mistakes all the time, lots and lots of them, my jewelry making. So I'm happy to share all of my boo-boos with you guys. Okay, so now I'll do it in the correct end cap. It looks like it's probably opened up wide enough, so I can probably just insert it in. I'm gonna roll it around in my fingers just to make sure that wire is nice and compressed, get it in there, and then crimp. There we go. Perfecto. So that, if you wanted to just leave it as a necklace that you throw over your head and don't have to worry about a clasp, this would be the way to go about it, because look how long this chain is. You get a full 3 feet in the kit. A full 3-foot spool. And if you are wanting to make a shorter length necklace, you can definitely trim it. Although I kind of love the length of it, just being a longer piece and having like most of the focal part down here. I think that's just so beautiful as is. So I might just end up keeping it the way it is. And I might save my clasp and my 2 end caps there for another project. So I really love this piece, you guys, though. Like, it ended up just easy, effortless. The pinks are really like talking together, harmonizing. You get a beautiful arrangement of black with some pops of color. So I think this is a really good piece, and it's something that you can definitely challenge yourself with this kit. If you are not a pink lover, I'm saying, like, give it a chance. Even that Dakota Stone piece by itself, I'm saying, it's good stuff. And you get a full like 3-foot spool of both the Pearlesque chain and the hollow mesh, Pearlesque hollow mesh to work with. So those are going to be two really good combos. All right, let me see if I've missed anyone's questions at this point. Brenda says, love this. Nile, thank you, Brenda, my love. Hi, Leanne. I don't think I got to say hi to you. You say I never disappoint. I do sometimes, I feel like, but it depends on the project. But I appreciate your enthusiasm and encouragement always. You're such a great Silky, and I'm so glad that you're loving the brand, loving supporting me and my vision and my cause here to educate you guys. All right. Well, I don't see any big questions out there. So you guys, let me flip this back around to me because it's really dark behind me now, but I've got this great lighting finally. I think that was my tutorial for the evening. I had a lovely time spending this time with you guys and hopefully teaching you something fun and cool and something new to try. Again, this just adds to our great big catalog that we're going to develop over time with Hollow Mesh, as there's not a whole lot of existing projects out there with it. But you can certainly find what I do have on my YouTube channel. If you'll just go over to YouTube and like and subscribe my channel there on YouTube for SilverSilk and more. But also, you can find a great library of different projects, not only for this developing Hollow Mesh library that we're doing, but also the Capture Chain and Pearlesque Chain that we have, that I've got currently in stock as well. There's so many great projects out there for that. And if you're looking just to, you know, kill a evening before going to bed, you can hop on over to my Instagram, and there's tons of inspiration out there as well for SilverSilk and how to use some of this stuff. And surely enough, if you love some of those photos and are like, what, I want to make this, believe it or not, I've got the same tutorial over on YouTube. So you can just go from one right to the other. You'll find yours truly babbling on about silly stuff and hopefully giving you guys a really good tutorial in the process of. So otherwise, I want you guys to go out on Facebook here and come join the Silkies. Let me show you if I can find a banner. Maybe I can't. No, wait. Oh, here it is. Join our Silkies group. We're just, again, a great bunch of people that are in it to inspire each other and motivate. And I just let you guys know what's new in SilverSilk, some of the recent projects that I've got going on, and I just talk to you guys like your family. So that, I think, concludes my demonstration this evening. I'm on Tuesday tutorials every Tuesday. If I'm not sick or ill or anything, which usually I'm not, knocking on wood, my table's made out of wood, so I'm wishing myself some good health here. But I want to be present for you guys because I do this every Tuesday at 5:30 in the evening. It's so much fun. We get to hang out and I get to share something silky with you guys, and I love it. So I love you guys so, so much. And I will see you again on Tuesday for another fun tutorial. I'm going to be using fiber cord, which is another way to fill some of the hollow mesh. I don't quite know what I'm going to make yet, and I know that's not going to be a kit, but I will have sources on where you can find the fiber cord that I'm using. I believe beadshop.com has this particular fiber cord, but I'm going to verify with Kate just to make sure that that's a thing. And I will get that project list to you guys and post it on SilverSilk and the Silkies Facebook group. All right, I love you all. I will see you again Tuesday. Otherwise, I'll be on the social medias chatting with you guys. So take care, and I will see you very, very soon. Mwah.